Hi and welcome back, guys. Hope you all are having a great day out there. We have several things to put out on your radar. We're going to talk Ripple, XRP, and of course, price action of XRP at the end of the video. If you don't mind clicking that like button and subscribe button, let's get straight into it because we've got a global cryptocurrency market here today sitting at 2.85 trillion, pretty flat. Now, Bitcoin up 1.7%, while XRP slightly outperforming at 1.8. If we take a look at the 7-day, we're up nearly 14%, nearly double the performance of Bitcoin, just over 6.5. And so slow and steady winning the race. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit more about price action at the end, but we are seeing RLUSD minted at the RLUSD Treasury, that Ripple stablecoin, by the boatload. In fact, about an hour ago, we saw 25 million were minted at the RLUSD Treasury. On top of that, 5 hours prior, 3.2 million. Now, also the SEC Crypto Task Force will host a series of roundtables to discuss key areas of interest in the regulation of crypto assets. This came out about an hour ago, stating that March 21st, a few days from now, at 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., they will be having the first roundtable. So finally, we're in the limelight. We're getting the recognition we need in this crypto space. And so that's something I'm going to follow very closely and relay to you all the dialogue. But Hashdex here today seeks to expand U.S. crypto ETF to include Litecoin and, wait for it, XRP and other altcoins. Now, why is this a big deal? It's 1.11 billion USD assets under management and been around about a little over 7 years. And so that's like a lifetime in cryptocurrency. It's quite a while. Now, Ripple files trademark application for custody service. I'm sure many of you at this point in time have seen this, and this is great to see. But one thing I did want to point out is there's a lot of FUD out there right now and talking about how this is going to make XRP more centralized, which makes absolutely no sense. XRP is the native token of the XRPL, moves around, moves cross-border payments, fast transactions, fast, efficient, cheap. But it is that neutral bridge asset on the XRPL, unlike this crypto custody service that Ripple has a separate business for to allow their institutional partners to custody assets. And what they did with Medico back in 2023, acquisition, $250 million, was said to the world, hey, we're going to get into the custody side of things, into this business, and we're going to be dominant. And that's exactly what they're doing. And now also here today, we see that the SEC, speaking of custody, is going to be re-examining proposed crypto custody rules under Gary Gensler's led agency, which we know was a complete failure. They are taking a look at what's going on here and how can they untighten some of the bolts that he used to hold this industry back. Now, Treasury Secretary Bassett says the White House is heading off a guaranteed financial crisis. Today, he puts out, what I could guarantee is we would have had a financial crisis. I've studied it, I've taught it, and if we had kept up at these spending levels, everything was unsustainable. And I don't know how you could argue that. He said this on Meet the Press, but interesting enough, he also says we are resetting. And we are putting things on a sustainable path, as we remember back in 2020, famously said out of the World Economic Forum, now is the time for a great reset. Now, I want to play you this 1.5 minute clip from Treasury Secretary Scott Bassett. Quote, digital assets are here to stay. We're going to make United States the digital asset hub of the world. Let's listen to this.
As we just heard from David Sachs, the Treasury is going to play a huge role in the future of cryptocurrency in America. But that's just one piece of the bigger economic picture. There's so many other components to consider. So how does it all fit together? Well, fortunately, joining us next is Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and he's keeping track of all of it. He joins me now. Secretary Bessent, thank you so much. Look, I think people are getting into cryptocurrency in a very big way. It seems like it's something that's here to stay. So from your perspective as Treasury Secretary, how does it fit into the overall U.S. economy, and where does the government stand on regulations?
Good. Well, thanks for having me on the show. And as I think this administration has made abundantly clear, digital assets are here to stay, and we are going to make the U.S. the digital asset hub of the world. For the past 4 years, the crypto community, digital assets, the administration retarded their growth, and we are set to accelerate that through a positive partnership. And through smart regulation, Senate and House are both pushing through very sound, safe bills to bring crypto and digital assets onshore in the U.S. and to make sure that the U.S. is both the financial and the technological leader.
Scott Bassett saying digital assets are here to stay, and I couldn't disagree on that. Also, if you're looking to buy and sell cryptocurrencies like XRP, I'll leave a pinned comment below for Uphold. I recommend them. Also, if you want to self-custody, I'll leave a link for Decent Wallet. Now, the United States will be the country, echoing on top of Scott Bessent, that leads in digital asset innovation for generations to come. This is coming out of Tim Scott. The Genius Act is a leap in the right direction. Let's take a listen to this 1-minute clip right here.
Currency is here to stay. We want to innovate in America before we overregulate it. We had a framework put in place led by Senator Haggerty, Senator Lumens, myself, making sure that the stable coins, to understand stable coins, it's kind of like a traveler's check on the blockchain. It gives people more access to the resources, and it will reduce the cost of doing business in America. A leap in the right direction. We will be the country that leads in the cryptocurrency footprint for generations to come. It's another promise made by President Trump on the campaign trail, another promise that we're keeping in our legislative agenda and priorities. The American people can rest assured that democratization is here to stay, and it will get better and better as we move these bills to the president's desk to be signed into law. It was a really good week.
If that's not bullish enough, quote, there could be never a bullish time, in my opinion, for this industry, says the legendary John Deaton. Let's listen this 1-minute clip right here.
Than that, we've got a president of the United States who has said they're going to make America the crypto capital of the world. We have an executive order establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve, with also, which isn't just hodling the 200,000 Bitcoin that America has, but actually saying to the the Secretary of Treasury, who is a Bitcoiner, and the Secretary of Commerce, who is a Bitcoiner and also involved with Tether, I want you to find budget neutral ways to acquire Bitcoin. You would have never imagined that in a million years. And so I think it's official that the anti-crypto army of Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler, are done.
Done indeed, and much brighter days ahead. Now, speaking of days ahead, on Wednesday, the Fed will decide whether they cut, hike, or keep rates unchanged. I believe they'll be unchanged. Let me know what your prediction, as Cointelegraph writes, what's your prediction in the comment section below. But if unchanged, I believe we're going to continue to see what we've seen. A little bit of progress in this market, as again, the last 7 days, we've seen an upward rise from really our lows of about $1.93. We are still in fear on the fear and greed index, but life is breathing back into this market. It's nice to start the week fresh with some green candles. Let's get some momentum. Let's have some big news pieces hopefully act as catalysts this week. Who knows what we hear from the Ripple and SEC case as we move forward. I appreciate all your time and support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next one.